Hello my dear students, welcome to the revision classes of biology. In this session, we are going to learn about the chapter respiration, the important concepts of respiration, experiments, drawings, as well as the important questions. Let's get into the details. Introduction to respiration. Discovery of gases involved in respiration. Objectives. In this session, you will be able to explain the term respiration, explain the scientific research work done by scientists in the discovery of gases involving in respiration and appreciate their efforts, as well as list out the major events in respiration. Our body draws out nutrients from the food taken in, but energy is drawn only after breakdown of food. But how is it made possible? It is made possible through the respiration. Yes, respiration leads to final utilization of food. It takes place efficiently in the presence of oxygen and some chemicals. Respiration is a word derived from the Latin word respire, which means breathing. It includes inhalation, utilization of gases and food at cellular level, and finally exhalation. How could the facts about gaseous exchange be revealed? The word breathing was used earlier to refer that the air is taken in and left out. It was not even known that air is a mixture of gases, but in 18th century, Priestley and Lavoisier did a comprehensive work on properties of gases and their exchange. Let us learn how the scientists could reveal the facts about respiration. Joseph Priestley. We have already discussed about his contribution in the lesson nutrition. His contribution was about gaseous exchange between plants and other organisms. The plants give out a gas that supported burning and was essential for the survival of animals. Lavoisier. He carried out several experiments to understand the properties of gases. He has burned different materials in a water trough, closing it with bell jar. He observed that the combustion of charcoal released fixed air, which is known as carbon dioxide, whereas the phosphorus released some other gas which is different from the above said fixed air. It was also concluded that water vapor is not the substance which combines with powdered charcoal or phosphorus, but it is a substance, either air or any elastic fluid which we breathe. Let us see some more important things he revealed. He noted that the gas which is released during combustion of metal or any other substance is not equal to the gas which we breathe in. He also found a major difference between the gas which is released during breathing and the gas which is released during combustion of metal. The difference was the gas which is released during breathing precipitated the lime water, whereas the gas which is released during combustion of metal did not precipitate the lime water. After all his work, a logical conclusion was drawn by him immediately that the respirable air is being exchanged in the lungs and equal amount of chalky acid air or carbon dioxide is given out into the air. It was believed that the respirable air combines with the blood to produce red color to it. But in due course, it was found that the hemoglobin gives red color to the blood. In 19th mid-century, a textbook of human physiology was written by John Topper. He has mentioned three major points: that the chief materials which a living being receives are the material, water and oxygen. The matter is useful for burning. Water and oxygen facilitate the burning. The next point was the action of these upon one another brings about all the physiological phenomena in living organisms. The next point is the body expels out during the process of respiration water, oxides of carbon, phosphorus, sulfur and others. Let us see some major events in respiration. The first step is breathing, which refers to the movement of air in and out of the lungs. The second step is gaseous exchange at lungs level, which refers the exchange of gases between alveoli and blood. The third one is gas transport by blood, which refers the transportation of oxygen from blood capillaries of alveoli to the body cells and return of carbon dioxide. The next step is gaseous exchange at tissue level, which refers the exchange of oxygen from blood into the cells and carbon dioxide from the cells into the blood. And the final step is cellular respiration, which refers that by using the oxygen in cell processes to produce carbon dioxide and water, releasing energy be used for life process. Summary. With this video, we have learned that the term respiration refers to breathing, which includes inhale, exhale, and cellular respiration. Presley and Lavoisier made a comprehensive research work in tracing out the facts about gases involved in respiration. There are majorly 5 events in respiration such as breathing, gaseous exchange at cellular level, gas transportation by blood, gaseous exchange at tissue level, and cellular respiration.
Respiratory system in human beings. Objectives. By the end of this video, you will be able to identify the different parts of human respiratory system as well as explain the pathway of air through the respiratory system. Human body is well-organized body system constituting of different organs and organ systems. We have already learned that we need oxygen to draw energy from food. To do so, we have a particular system known as respiratory system. Now, let us see the different parts of respiratory system. Human respiratory system opens out with nostrils, which leads its way into the nasal cavity. The inner surface of nasal cavity is lined with mucous membrane that secretes mucus, due to which the surface is moistened. There are some hairs growing inside the nasal cavity that filter the dust particles from the air. When the air passes through the nasal cavity, its temperature is brought close to the body temperature and also become moistened. From the nasal cavity, the air moves into the pharynx, which is a common passage of digestive and respiratory system. There is a small flap-like valve called epiglottis that controls the movement of air and food in their respective passages. We will learn about epiglottis in the next video. As a part of respiratory system, pharynx leads one of its way into the stiff box called larynx. It contains vocal cords. When the air passes through the vocal cords, they vibrate and produce sounds. Larynx continues with the trachea, which is a strong windpipe containing C-shaped rings to avoid foldings. It further divides into 2 bronchi. Each bronchus enters into the lungs. The lungs are big sac-like structures which is elastic. And bronchi further divides into bronchioles. Bronchioles lead their way into clusters of air sacs called alveoli in the lungs, which are very small and numerous. Gaseous exchange takes place in the alveoli. The oxygen is diffused into the blood, whereas the carbon dioxide is diffused out into the air sacs. Now, let us aggregate the pathway of air. Air enters into the lungs through the respiratory system. gaseous exchange takes place in the lungs and the resultant carbon dioxide exits out of the respiratory system in the same track. That is, the air enters through the nostrils, continues with the nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchus, bronchioles and finally reach the alveoli. In the alveoli, the gaseous exchange takes place and oxygen is diffused into the blood whereas the carbon dioxide is diffused out into the alveoli. This is how the air enters and passes through the respiratory system in this pathway, whereas the exchanged gas again exits out through the same respiratory pathway. Summary. In this video, we have learned that the respiratory system starts with nostrils and continues as nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchus, bronchioles and finally lungs. Lungs are the elastic big sac-like structures which are made up of alveoli, which are very tiny sac-like structures. Gaseous exchange takes place in the alveoli.
Epiglottis, its role in breathing. Objectives. By the end of this, you will be able to explain the role of epiglottis in breathing as well as give reasons for the saying that we should not talk while eating. In the last video, we have learnt about the passage of air. At a moment, we have talked about epiglottis, which is a flap-like valve that closes the windpipe while swallowing the food. Let us see how does it work. From the pharynx, there are two openings. One leads into the respiratory pipe and another leads into the digestive tract. It is so important that air moves into the respiratory tract whereas food moves into the food pipe. It is much more important that food does not enter into the respiratory tract as it may lead to death of a person. How is it made possible? It is made possible by a flap-like valve called epiglottis. When the air is passing through the way, it keeps itself open and erect. But only when we swallow the food, it just moved by the food as it closes the way towards the respiratory tract by preventing the food to enter into the respiratory tract and allows the food to move through the digestive tract. It is regulated by the nervous system involuntarily. And why is it generally advised not to talk while eating? Because the sound is produced when the air passes through the vocal cords. When we talk while eating, we allow both the food and wind at the same time. There is possibility for entry of food into the windpipe which may lead to the death or any other problems. And sometimes the small food particles enter into the respiratory tract accidentally. It will be immediately thrown forcibly out of the tract through the mouth or nose by choking, and hence it is advised that not to speak while eating. Summary. With this video, we have learned that epiglottis controls the movement of food and air in their respective passages, as well as we should not talk while eating as food may enter into the respiratory tract and create problems. Mechanism of respiration. Objectives. By the end of this, you will be able to explain the role of diaphragm in breathing as well as explain the role of ribs in breathing. We know that breathing is a process which involves inhalation of air as well as exhalation of air. Like heart, lungs are not the muscular organs to contract and expand by themselves voluntarily. Then how is it made possible? It is made possible with the movement of diaphragm and rib cage. Let us go in detail. Diaphragm. It is a muscular dome-shaped structure made of involuntary muscles. It can be imagined as the floor of lungs. When the diaphragm is relaxed, it attains dome shape. As a result, a lot of pressure is exerted on the lungs, which push the air which is inside the lungs towards outside through the respiratory tract. This process is known as expiration. Whereas in reverse, when the diaphragm contracts, it becomes flattened and moves downwards. As a result, the volume of chest cavity is increased and pressure is decreased. This results the movement of air from outer atmosphere into the respiratory system of human beings. This is called as inspiration. This is how the movement of diaphragm facilitates the breathing. Here you can also observe the movement of rib cage facilitating breathing. Let us see how is it possible. The ribs are attached at an angle and also attached to the diaphragm with tendon. When diaphragm relaxes, the ribs move inwards and leads to expiration. Whereas the diaphragm contracts, it pushes the ribs little upwards and leads to inspiration. We can easily observe the movement of rib cage in our pets while sleeping. Summary. With this video, we have learned that the contraction and relaxation of diaphragm facilitates breathing, as well as the movement of rib cage also plays a major role in breathing.
Gaseous exchange and cellular respiration. Objectives. By the end of this video, you will be able to explain the gaseous exchange at lungs level, explain the transportation of gases, as well as explain the cellular respiration. We generally breathe to get oxygen, which is utilized to release energy from food components. How does energy reach all parts of the body and is utilized? And how is carbon dioxide carried out to the lungs? To get aware of all these, we need to go little more deep into the process of respiration. Let us see some of the aspects of gaseous exchange at lungs level, transportation of gases, and cellular respiration. Gaseous exchange at lungs level. Lungs are made up of alveoli, which are considered as structural and functional units of lungs. These alveoli are small and tiny sac-like structures. The walls of the alveoli is one-celled thickness. These alveoli are surrounded by numerous blood capillaries, which are also constitute one-celled thickened walls. The deoxygenated blood from the heart flows through these capillaries towards the alveoli. The carbon dioxide from the blood is diffused out of the capillaries into the alveoli. At the same time, oxygen from the alveoli is received by the blood in the capillaries. When we breathe out, carbon dioxide from alveoli is released out into the atmosphere through the respiratory tract. The oxygen-rich blood or oxygenated blood returns to the heart and pumped to all parts of the body. This is how gaseous exchange takes place at lungs level. Transportation of gases. Hemoglobin is the pigment that helps in transportation of gases. It exists in the red blood cells. It has more affinity to combine with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin. It is transported to all parts of the body through the bloodstream. It is represented as follows. Hb plus O2 gives rise to HbO2, that is oxyhemoglobin. This is taken place at lungs level. But at tissues, it is a reversible reaction as it dissociates and releases oxygen into the cells. But carbon dioxide has less affinity to combine with hemoglobin when compared to oxygen. Hence, carbon dioxide is transported in three methods. They are by dissolution directly in the blood. 5 to 7% of carbon dioxide is transported in this method. The second way is by combining with the hemoglobin. Around 10% of carbon dioxide is transported in this method. The third method is it is carried as bicarbonate ions. Around 85% of carbon dioxide is transported in this way. Gaseous exchange at tissue level. The tissues or the body parts continuously use oxygen for metabolic activities. Hence, concentration is low in them and oxyhemoglobin releases oxygen molecules into the cells. Carbon dioxide, which is produced due to cellular respiration at tissues, is transported as per the gradient to the lungs through the above said ways. Cellular respiration. It refers to the pathway by which the cells release energy from chemical bonds of food molecules. It does not occur in a single reaction. In eukaryotic cells, it occurs in both cytoplasm and mitochondria. Breakdown of glucose molecule involves a series of biochemical reactions. It occurs in three phases. The first one is glycolysis, the second phase is Krebs cycle, the third phase is electron transport system. Glycolysis takes place in the cytoplasm, whereas Krebs cycle and electron transport system are taken place in mitochondria. By the end of the process, the energy is released and stored in the form of ATP in mitochondria. Hence, mitochondria are known as powerhouses of the cell. ATP is nothing but adenosine triphosphate. It is an energy-rich compound that is capable of supplying energy at need. Hence, it is known as energy currency of our body. Each ATP molecule gives 7,200 calories of energy. Summary. With this video, we have learnt the following concepts. Gaseous exchange at lungs level takes place between alveoli and blood in the blood capillaries. Transportation of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place through the blood. Cellular respiration takes place in three phases such as glycolysis, Krebs cycle and electron transport system. We have also learned that ATP is the energy currency of our body. Differences between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. By the end of this video, you will be able to differentiate aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Let us go in detail. Aerobic respiration differs with anaerobic respiration in many ways. As far as oxygen is concerned, aerobic respiration takes place in the presence of oxygen, whereas anaerobic respiration takes place in the absence of oxygen. The end products. The end products of aerobic respiration are carbon dioxide and water, whereas the end products of anaerobic respiration are carbon dioxide along with either lactic acid or alcohol. Location. Aerobic respiration takes place in cytoplasm and mitochondria, whereas anaerobic respiration takes place only in cytoplasm. Energy. More energy is produced in aerobic respiration, whereas less energy is produced in anaerobic respiration. Occurrence. Aerobic respiration takes place in almost all plants and animal cells, whereas anaerobic respiration takes place in some bacteria, yeast, human muscle cells, etc. Experiment to prove anaerobic respiration, that is the respiration without oxygen. Let us see what are the materials required for this experiment. They are wash bottle, thermometer, L-shaped glass tubes, test tube, mixture of yeast and boiled and cooled sugar solution, as well as liquid paraffin. And how are these materials and apparatus are used or arranged? A wash bottle is taken and half of it is filled with sugar solution. This sugar solution is boiled and cooled to remove the dissolved oxygen from the solution. And a layer of paraffin is poured on the surface of glucose solution to avoid the oxygen to mix with it. We need to test the traces of oxygen whether remained in the solution or negligible or is there any more than that. To do so, we add Janus Greenby solution to confirm or to test the traces of oxygen remained in the solution. And the wash bottle is closed tightly with two-hole cork, of which one is fixed to thermometer and another is for L-shaped glass tube. And the L-shaped glass tube, which is inserted through one hole of the cork of wash bottle, the other end of it is attached to the another L-shaped test tube, another L-shaped tube, which is in turn is inserted into a test tube containing bicarbonate solution. And the initial temperature is noted and left this setup for 2 to 3 hours for observation. When we observe, there is a rise in temperature and also bicarbonate solution is turned into milky white, that is lime water is turned into milky white. What can we infer from this? Since the oxygen is removed from the wash bottle, aerobic respiration is prevented and still there is release of temperature and carbon dioxide. Hence, it is proved that the heat and carbon dioxide are released during anaerobic respiration. Respiration in plants. The amazing thing about the respiration in plants is the plant respires with its different parts by the different means. It means the leaves, the stem and the roots respire through different means. Let us see what are they. The leaves respire through the stomata which exist on the lower surface of the leaves. The closing and opening of stomata enables the breathing in the leaves. The stem respires through the lenticels which exist on the surface of the stem. At the same time, the roots respire through the process of osmosis. When the roots absorb the water from the soil, the oxygen along with water enters into the root hairs. In vice versa, the highly concentrated carbon dioxide comes out of the roots into the soil. So this is how the plants respire in different means. Experiment to prove release of carbon dioxide during respiration with germinating sprouts. Materials required to conduct this experiment are glass bottle, sprouts, beaker, lime water and cork. Then what is the procedure? Handful of germinating seeds are taken and kept them in a glass bottle. A small beaker is filled 3/4 of it with lime water and kept inside the bottle, and similar set is made with dry seeds. These sets are kept undisturbed for 1 or 2 days. And what can we observe from this? We can observe the lime water changes into milky white in both sets, but it is faster with the sprouted seeds when compared to the dry seeds. Then what can we infer from this observation? As the lime water turns milky white, it is proved that the respiration releases carbon dioxide. At the same time, it is also proved that the rate of respiration is more in sprouted seeds when compared to dry seeds. It is because in sprouted seeds, the seed is germinating. It requires a lot of energy for its growth and development. Hence, it respires a lot to get the energy, to gain the energy. Half mark questions from the chapter Respiration. Let us go into the questions. The first question, what are the examples for the trees having aerial roots? The best examples are mangrove plants. The plants which grow in marshy lands, that means they grow in the habitats of waterlogged soils. The aerial roots enable these plants to respire in the roots. Next question, fill the blank in the given flow chart. There is a flow chart given with breathing, gaseous exchange at lungs level, dash, gaseous exchange at tissue level, cellular respiration. These are the events in respiration in human beings. After breathing and gaseous exchange at lungs levels, the gas which is absorbed into the blood has to be transported to the tissues. So the next, the blank which is given has to be filled with gas transport by blood. Now let us see the next question. Fill the blank in the given sentence. When the air passes out of the lungs and over, dash, it causes them to vibrate. So over what? We have to write over vocal cords. When the gas passes out of the lungs over the vocal cords vibrate and produce the sounds. Let us see the next one. Find out the wrong word in the given sentence and rewrite it. Here sometimes it may also be asked as correct the underlined word. So that is why I have underlined ulva. A flap-like valve, ulva, that protects the tube to the lungs, arresting the entry of food into the respiratory tract. Is it ulva? No. It is actually the epiglottis. Epiglottis is the flap-like valve that arrests the entry of food into the respiratory tract. So the answer is epiglottis. Now let us see the next question. Find out the wrong pair. There are three pairs given here. Aerobic respiration is to carbon dioxide, water and heat. Next one is anaerobic respiration is to carbon dioxide and more heat. Exhaled air is to more carbon dioxide. So we have to write which one is the wrong one. Which one is the wrong pair. Aerobic respiration is to carbon dioxide, water and heat is the right pair. Because during the aerobic respiration, carbon dioxide and water are also released along with heat. Exhaled air contains more carbon dioxide as there is a gaseous exchange of carbon dioxide into the alveoli from the blood. But the second pair, which is anaerobic respiration, carbon dioxide and more heat. Here carbon dioxide is released in anaerobic respiration, but when compared to aerobic respiration, very little or less heat is released during anaerobic respiration. So this is the wrong pair. Now let us see the next question. Match the following. There are three matches have been given. In part 1, cutaneous respiration, bronchial respiration and pulmonary respiration are given. In the part 2, lungs, gills and skin. Here the cutaneous respiration refers to the respiration that occurs through the skin. The bronchial respiration involves the gills, whereas the pulmonary respiration occurs through the lungs. Hence, the matching is first one is to C, second one is to B and third one is to A. The next question, what does this diagram indicate? This is the diagram called as lenticels, which is present in the stem, fruits of different plants, helps for the gaseous exchange where there are no stomata. The next question, I am a muscular organ present just below the lungs and help in lung movement. Who am I? So this is the organ which helps for the lung movement and just below the lungs. It is the diaphragm. Let us see in the picture. Diaphragm is just located just below the lungs. It helps for the respiration. The next question, monkey is to lungs. So as cockroach is to, it means in monkey it is a mammal. In monkey the respiration takes place through the lungs. Then in cockroach, what are the respiratory organs? Cockroach is an insect, arthropod. It contains tracheal system as the respiratory system. So the trachea are the respiratory organs. The next question, which group of words are related to the aerobic respiration? There are two groups with glycolysis, Krebs cycle and more energy. Glycolysis, cytoplasm and lactic acid. Here the group, we have to choose the group of words which are related to aerobic respiration. So in aerobic respiration, glycolysis, Krebs cycle are taken over and more energy is released. So this is the group which is related to the aerobic respiration. Now let us see the next question. Chloroplast is to photosynthesis, so as to mitochondria is to. So what is the function of chloroplast? Photosynthesis. Then what is the function of mitochondria? It is the cellular respiration, which releases energy from the food and stores it. Let us see the next one. Which of the following group is concerned with the mechanism of respiration? Group A, liver, pyloric sphincter, vulva. Group B, epiglottis, ribs and diaphragm. So which of these groups are related to the mechanism of respiration? That means the breathing or inhale and exhale of the air. The answer is epiglottis, ribs and diaphragm. As these epiglottis prevents the air, prevents the food to enter into the respiratory tract, whereas ribs and diaphragm help for the mechanism of respiration. The next question is, identify the part which is indicated as X. Here the part which is indicated as X is epiglottis, which is a flap-like wall that prevents the entry of food into the respiratory tract. Let us see the next one. I am an organism and perform both cutaneous respiration and pulmonary respiration. Who am I? So this is an organism. In this organism, cutaneous respiration takes place as well as pulmonary respiration. What is this organism? This is a frog or any amphibian we can write. The next one is, identify the given picture. Here there is a picture given. We have to identify what is that organ and what process is going on. The answer is gaseous exchange at alveoli. These are the typical units of lungs. Tiny sacs which are present in lungs. The gaseous exchange takes place in alveoli. Let us see the next question. Hemoglobin in RBC is to human beings. So as hemoglobin in plasma. It means in human beings, hemoglobin is present in RBC, red blood cells. Whereas the hemoglobin in some animals is present in plasma. It is dissolved in plasma. There are no any cells, blood cells in that blood. What is that organism? That organism is earthworm or annelids. Next question. Write the correct word in the blank in the given sentence. Gaseous exchange takes place in dash as blood capillaries take up oxygen and expel carbon dioxide. So gaseous exchange takes place obviously in alveoli. Let us see the next question. Energy currency of the cell is ADP, which gives 7200 calories of energy. Find out the incorrect word and rewrite it. What is the incorrect word here? ADP is the incorrect word. We have to write ATP in place of ADP. The next question. Identify the part indicated as X in the given diagram. This is the part of respiratory system. In this, the part which is identified is the trachea. Let us see the next one. Which of the following statements is right? There are 4 statements have been given. Diaphragm contracts, then chest cavity increases. Whereas diaphragm contracts, chest cavity decreased. When diaphragm expands, chest cavity increased. When diaphragm expands, chest cavity decreased. Just observe the answer, then you will be able to understand properly. There is a GIF playing over here where when the diaphragm contracts, the chest cavity is being increased. Whereas diaphragm expands, the chest cavity is decreased. So the first option and fourth option are the right option. One more questions from the chapter respiration. Let us go into the questions. The first question is, why do we get choking sometimes while eating the food? Because while eating the food, due to the entry of food into the air tract, we choke to throw them out. It is shown in this GIF. When the food enters into the respiratory tract, it gets irritated and we choke and throw them out. Let us go into the next question. After vigorous exercise, we feel pain in the muscles. Why? After vigorous exercise, there will be an accumulation or formation of lactic acid due to the anaerobic respiration. Because while doing vigorous exercises, we do not breathe, we hold our breath.
Hence, the anaerobic respiration takes place as per the requirement. Due to the anaerobic respiration, the lactic acid is accumulated in the muscles. It leads to the pain. The next question. It is observed that the percentage of carbon dioxide in exhaled air is more than the inhaled air. Why? Because carbon dioxide that is diffused from the blood capillaries into the alveoli is sent out through the exhalation. Hence, the carbon dioxide levels will be more than the inhaled air. The next question. Write the process chart to show the events or steps in the respiration. There are several steps involved in the respiration, beginning with breathing. It involves both inhalation and exhalation. The next stage is gaseous exchange at lungs levels. Next one is gaseous transport by the blood. The next stage is gaseous exchange at tissue level, and finally the cellular respiration. These are the events that take place in respiration. Next question. Why Janus green bee is used in this experiment? The Janus green bee solution is used in this experiment to find out are there any traces of oxygen in the solution. It is a blue colored solution. If it gets into light pink color, it means that there is very little amount of oxygen which can be negligible. The next question is, why do the roots of mangroves develop the aerial roots? What is the need of mangroves to develop the aerial roots? The answer is, the mangroves grow in marshy or waterlogged habitats where there is no sufficient oxygen available in the soil for the roots. So, for the roots to get the respiration takes place, it develops the aerial roots. The next question is, why the germinating seeds are taken for the experiments related to the respiration? Because the rate of respiration is very high in germinating seeds. The next question. What may happen if epiglottis is removed? If epiglottis is removed, the food may enter into the respiratory tract and sometimes it may lead to the death, because the epiglottis is a flip-like wall that arrests the entry of food into the air tract. The next question. What if the walls of alveoli are multi-layered? Actually, the walls of alveoli are the single layered. What happens if it is multi-layered? If it is multi-layered, gaseous exchange does not take place properly as per the requirement, because it takes a lot of time for the gaseous exchange. The next question is, identify the parts indicated as X and Y in this diagram. So, this is the diagram that indicates the gaseous exchange at lungs level or alveoli. The part which is indicated as X is alveolus and which is indicated as Y is the blood capillary. 2 marks questions from the chapter respiration. Let us go into the questions. The first question is, what happens if diaphragm is not there in the body? Diaphragm is a muscular structure which is located just below the lungs. What if it does not exist in our body? Let us see the answer. The contraction and relaxation of the diaphragm helps the lungs to allow the air in and out. Just observe the picture. Observe the GIF which is given here. The green color line, it is indicated as diaphragm. The contraction and relaxation of diaphragm makes the lungs to take the air in and throw it out. If the diaphragm is not there, we will not be able to breathe, because lungs are not the muscular structures. Hence, the diaphragm helps the lungs to take in the air and throw it out. Let us see the next question. Why does a deep sea diver carry oxygen cylinder on her back? Let us go into the answer. The availability of oxygen is very less at deep sea level and we cannot respire in water. If we want to go deep sea, we need to sustain a lot of time inside the deep sea, and also we cannot sustain in the deep sea for a longer time. Hence, they carry the oxygen cylinder. Let us go to the next question. Write the differences between inspiration and expiration, or write the differences between inhalation and exhalation. Let us see the answer. Let us take the inspiration and expiration in a table. In inspiration, the air is breathed in, whereas in expiration, the air is breathed out. During inspiration, the lungs are expanded, whereas during expiration, the lungs are squeezed. In inspiration, the diaphragm is flattened, whereas in expiration, the diaphragm assumes dome shape. Inspiration is also called as inhalation, whereas expiration is also called as exhalation. Let us go to the next question. What is the role of epiglottis, or how the passage of air through the respiratory system is controlled in our body? The answer is, the epiglottis is a flap-like valve that arrests the entry of food into the lungs. Observe in the GIF given here. When we swallow the food, it closes the passage of lungs and it opens the passage after the food enters into the food tract. So, it controls the traffic of air and food. 4 marks questions from the chapter Respiration. Let us go into the questions. The first question. Look at the picture and answer the following question. There is a picture given followed by some questions. We have to answer those questions. Let us see the questions. The first question is, what does this diagram represent? This diagram represents the gaseous exchange at alveoli. We should not write just alveoli or blood capillary, alveoli surrounded by blood capillary. So that will not be the proper answer. This diagram represents especially the gaseous exchange at alveoli. The next one is, name the parts which are indicated as X and Y. In this diagram, the part which is indicated as X is alveoli, whereas the part which is indicated as Y is blood capillary. The next question, explain the mechanism that takes place in this picture. It refers that we need to explain the gaseous exchange that takes place in alveoli. First one, the gaseous exchange takes place in the alveoli, which are tiny sacs in the lungs with one-celled thickness of walls. They are surrounded by capillaries, blood capillaries that are also one-celled thickness. Gaseous exchange takes place between the alveoli and the blood in the blood capillaries so as to absorb oxygen into the blood and release carbon dioxide into the alveoli sac. So this is the mechanism that happens in alveoli. Let us go to the next question. What are the differences between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration? Let us draw a table with aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration occurs in the presence of oxygen, whereas anaerobic respiration occurs in the absence of oxygen. The end products of aerobic respiration are carbon dioxide and water molecule, whereas in anaerobic respiration, the end products are ethanol and carbon dioxide. You can also write lactic acid in the place of ethanol too. So, the end products of anaerobic respiration includes ethanol or lactic acid along with carbon dioxide. Next one is, aerobic respiration occurs in the cytoplasm and mitochondria, whereas anaerobic respiration occurs only in cytoplasm. Next point is, aerobic respiration involves 3 stages: glycolysis, Krebs cycle and electron transport system, whereas anaerobic respiration involves only glycolysis. And in aerobic respiration, more energy is released, whereas in anaerobic respiration, less energy is released. Let us see the next question. What are the differences between photosynthesis and respiration? Again, let us draw a table with photosynthesis and respiration. The first point is, photosynthesis takes place in green plants, whereas respiration takes place in all the living organisms, including the green plants, animals, everything. Photosynthesis is an anabolic process, whereas respiration is a catabolic process. Anabolic process refers to the construction of a molecule, whereas respiration is a catabolic process which refers that a substance is oxidized are decomposed into the inorganic molecules. A organic molecule is decomposed into the inorganic molecule. That is catabolic process. The photosynthesis takes place in chloroplast, whereas respiration takes place in cytoplasm and mitochondria. Otherwise, you can also write that chloroplast is involved in photosynthesis, the cell organelle which is involved in respiration is mitochondria. In photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is used or utilized and oxygen is released. Whereas in reverse, respiration uses oxygen and releases carbon dioxide. Solar energy is trapped in photosynthesis, whereas energy is released from the food or glucose molecule. The photosynthesis occurs in the sunlight or in the presence of light, but respiration occurs all the time. Photosynthesis involves photolysis of water, but respiration does not involve any photolysis reaction. In photosynthesis, glucose is synthesized, whereas glucose is oxidized and energy is released in respiration. These are some of the differences between photosynthesis and respiration. Let us see the next question. Look at the diagram and answer the following question. This question is based on an experiment. Let us go into the questions. What is the aim of this experiment? The aim of this experiment is to prove the anaerobic respiration. The next question, what are the materials required for this experiment? You can just look at the diagram and write a bottle, test tube, L-shaped glass tubes, glucose solution, yeast, Dyson green, liquid paraffin wax, lime water, thermometer and rubber corks. Let us go to the next question. Why the glucose solution is boiled prior to the experiment? Because the glucose solution needs the absence of oxygen. To remove the dissolved oxygen from the solution, it has to be boiled and cooled without shaking. Next question. Why do we pour liquid paraffin wax on the surface of yeast and glucose solution? Because even if we boil the glucose solution, to remove the oxygen, there may be air present inside the bottle. So the air may again dissolve into the glucose solution. So to prevent the dissolution of oxygen into the glucose solution, we need to pour the paraffin wax on the surface of glucose solution. Next question. Why do we use Dyson green solution in this experiment? So even prior to the experiment, we need to again ensure about the presence of oxygen. So the Dyson green solution is poured on the glucose solution to test the presence of oxygen. It is a blue colored dye. It turns pink when the oxygen is in short supply, which is around it, which is a negligible amount. The next question, what changes are observed by the end of this experiment? So especially the lime water in the test tube turns milky white and there is temperature rise in the thermometer. The next question, how do you confirm the release of carbon dioxide? Yes, the lime water gets milky white. So the gas released from the glucose and yeast solution enters the test tube and makes it milky white. Let us go to the next question. Look at the diagram and answer the following question. So the first question is, what is the aim of this experiment? The aim of this experiment is to prove that carbon dioxide is released during the respiration in sprouted seeds. Here the sprouted seeds have been taken to represent the plants. Next question. Why should we take only sprouted seeds in this experiment? The dry seeds cannot respire or respire at very minimum rate, which is negligible. But the sprouted seeds respire vigorously and we can get the perfect result. So we have to take sprouted seeds. And there is one more answer. Even if the well-grown plant, when compared to the well-grown plant, the sprouted seeds vigorously respire. If you take the sprouted seeds, we can get the result very easily. The next question, what is the solution taken in the beaker inside the jar? So it is the lime water taken in the beaker. The next question, write your observations during this experiment. So when we observe, after 2 days, the lime water turns milky white. The next question, what inference can you make from this experiment? The gas released during respiration in sprouted seeds turn the lime water into milky white. So it is concluded that carbon dioxide is released from the sprouted seed. Let us go to the next question. What are the differences between respiration and combustion? Again, let us have a table with the respiration and combustion. Oxidation process that occurs in living organisms is called as respiration, whereas oxidation that occurs in non-living things like burning coal or any other thing is known as combustion. Energy in respiration, energy is released in different stages like glycolysis, Krebs cycle. So the energy is released in slots, but in combustion the energy is released at a time. In respiration, energy is not required prior to the process, whereas in combustion, energy is required prior to begin the process. In respiration, many intermediary compounds are formed, whereas in combustion, no intermediary compounds are formed. Respiration, energy is preserved in the form of ATP and some amount of energy is released in the form of heat, whereas all the energy is released in the form of heat in combustion.